Hi, my friends. How are you today? Aaron here, bringing you some honest astrology about this full moon lunar eclipse that we have going on in the sign of Pisces. So the sun is at 15 degrees. It will be this Sunday. This is Sunday the 7th at about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The sun is in the sign of Virgo with the south node. South node is the past where we're letting go of. And the sun is illuminating this place. This is a giant backward tug of war. There's a lot to talk about. I'm going to take this one nice and slow. Patience. And we'll talk about all of it. If you ever have any questions, just ask in the comments below. And I'm happy to talk about anything that you're curious about, right? Bringing it all to illumination. Seeing our shadow. So this eclipse is only, there we go. This eclipse, here we go, is only 3 degrees off of the ecliptic, this full moon. So you see 18 degrees here, 18 degrees here. This is the nodes. They move a sign every year and a half. They're floating through Pisces right now. The north node saying go in this direction. Uncertainty, trust, faith, belief, creativity, imagination. Right now our moon is connecting with this north node and saying this has got to feel. You have to feel your way through this. Your eyes aren't going to work. Your logical brain will not make sense right now. Your logical brain will talk you out of all of the magic that is in store for you. And because this is so predominant, I'm going to come back and say it right here. Your left brain is Virgo. Right brain is Pisces. Your left brain is your logic. This is mathematics, language, creativity, okay, the building blocks. And there's a certain order and a structure with the earth sign of Virgo and how things are done. 2 + 2 is 4. There's no exception to that. Now over in the communication sign Gemini, also ruled by Mercury, Virgo and Mercury are both ruled by, or Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury. It could be the wrong answer. In Virgo, it's only the right answer. The 4 mutable signs, let's take a look at them. Gemini is all of the information. Okay, so it's the left, the right, the up, the down, the right answer, the wrong answer, everything. It's just information in general, okay? Virgo is very precise information. So this isn't just trees we're talking about very specific trees. Okay, we're talking about apple trees or oranges, or that's not just what's that? That's a weed. Okay, chop it up with your weed whacker. That's poison ivy. Do not chop it up with your weed whacker. Handle it a different way. There's a different way about going about this information. The mutable sign of Sagittarius, where we have no energy right now. Now Uranus is here breaking up. This is also, Gemini is also just in general communication and information. The Gemini Uranus in here is saying we don't know everything. We don't understand everything. Don't try to pretend that your personal perspective is the truth and the only truth. A lot of times we make assumptions in life about things and we base our opinions on those assumptions. And then we live our lives based on those assumptions. Mercury right now in Virgo is saying, please do not do that. Illuminate the conversation. The conversation is extremely potent and powerful right now, this Virgo season, as Mercury and the Sun are conjunct together, moving through the ecliptic point. If you're scared about communicating with certain things, it's okay. Communicate. If you're uncertain or you don't know how to, it's okay. You can communicate that you're uncertain, that you don't know how. If you're scared about something, that's okay. You can communicate that. But don't run away from communication. That's one of the beauties of this particular alignment right now, is really highlighting this beautiful, vulnerable conversation, right? So don't assume that we know everything. Allow ourselves to ask the other and try to determine what is the truth, what is real. Okay, Sagittarius energy, where we do not have any, there's no planets right now. This is about higher philosophies and religion and things like that. There's no energy there. So we're really dealing with Gemini information, personal information, very, very potent. Like, we don't know everything. We might have our minds made up this certain way. Uranus is here to shake things up. All right. And that's what it's going to be doing for 8 years, shaking things up as far as how you think and you think about the world, you perceive the world. There is no universe without mind entering into it first. You create your reality by the thoughts that you're thinking. So if you're thinking very specifically about something and you're not leaving room for possibilities, this is where this eclipse is really going to rip us apart. And I mean rip us apart. When we have, I'm going to come back here to the chart, or when we have, we're saying yes to life, okay? And this is, Virgo energy is like, I want to create this thing. I'm going to take my notes, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write my list, and this is what I want to create in life. And this is how the conversation is going to go when I talk to that person, when I confront that person, or when I share this message. This is how the conversation is going to go. I used to take notes. In the first week I started doing this 10 years ago or something, 9 years ago, when I started, I had a goal to put out 1,000 videos in 1,000 days. And I started taking down notes. I would look at everything and start writing it down. And I realized this isn't how I'm going to work. This isn't my own Virgo tendencies. I'm a Virgo rising, Capricorn sun. My own earth tendencies of rigidity had to change. There had to be a moving with the flow. There had to be stepping into, I don't really know what I'm going to say. There's an idea. There's a message. There's a theme. But how that comes out, I mean, I've been meditating on this for days. What's going to come out? A lot of it. And however it's supposed to be delivered will come out here in this moment. On that note, there's a lot dealing with other people right now, okay? Other people, for the next year, you guys. Look, this takes 2 months to go through a sign, okay? So we're looking at 2, or let's say 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay, 11 months, this is about our relationship with other people. And then it comes back into Aries, which is about our relationship with ourself and motivation, self. So for the next year, and these eclipses last, 6 months into the next eclipse season, a year from now. So for the next year, we're working with other people, whether we want to or not, whether we have our mind set on a specific thing that we're trying to create, other people are going to be involved in it. And they are going to shake us to the core. There's a lot to be said about that. Other people are going to align with us. And when we have, like if this was a conversation, there'd be room for somebody else to breathe and talk with, which I really want to do. So if you're interested in having a conversation about astrology or life, relationships, love, anything with me, I love that kind of stuff. And I want to open up this channel, this platform, for more of those conversations to be conversational, because instead of just sitting here flapping my gums talking with you about astrology. Okay, so you work so hard. I'm gonna get emotional. You guys, you work so hard in creating the thing that you wanted to create. You earth signs, the elements of the earth sign that's within you. You've worked so hard to bloom your flowers. You've worked so unbelievably hard to grow your branches. You've worked so hard to grow that thing that's a part of you, that you're sprouting out into the life, that you're giving back into nature. And as we're moving through Virgo season into Libra season, the aroma, true love is the aroma a flower gives off when it's stepped on. Someone is going to come and pluck your apple, and you don't know if they're going to appreciate the taste of it or not. So it's natural to want to withhold and not give. Not give unconditionally. Withhold our services. It's not what this energy is about. It doesn't matter if you've been hurt in the past and now you're stepping out again into the world of dating, or if your boss did this and now you're trying to find an alignment with a new job. This energy is saying we cannot withhold our services. We can't withhold our sweet aromas. We can't withhold our nectar, our juices. It's up to us to provide. It's up to us. Because I see this, it's just like, I don't want to prune. I don't want this tree's worked so hard over these years to build this branch. And now it's just sucking the life out of it. And if it doesn't fall, it's going to drain you. And you have to let go. You have to let go. And I know you might not want to. And we're saying yes to life. We're saying yes to possibilities. Not just our list, this list that we have written down of this is what I want to do and accomplish and all these things. When we're saying yes to the experience of life, this Pisces energy comes with it. You can't remove the brain from the body or the heart from the body or the lungs from the body. It's unified. You can't remove the consciousness from this vessel. It's unified. So we're leaning into the unknown. We're leaning into the fact that other things are going to pop up along the way that are going to be unexpected surprises. And we get to choose. Eris and Aries, we get to choose. It's up to us how we choose to deal with these things. How do we choose to deal with these things coming at me? They're not going to stop. As long as we're living and we're saying yes to life, different opportunities are going to present themselves for us. Different work possibilities, different relationships for work, different relationships for love, different relationships for friendship, for connection, through working together, through community, through all kinds of things. And when we're collaborating with other people, we have to considerably surrender aspects of ourselves. I'm a musician. I want to join a band. I want to name the band this. This is the skill set I bring to the group. Well, I have this idea and I'm set forth on my mission. And it's like, well, maybe there's these other 3-4 other personalities now. And I might have to surrender certain aspects of myself, of my idea, my concept of what I'm creating in order for us to create together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This is far together. This is if you want to continue to grow, we have to prune, we have to let go of elements of ourselves. And furthermore, with this Virgo energy, the Sun and Mercury, both in Virgo, communication and us showing up right now. It's precise communication. It's not being afraid of communication with Leo, especially with Venus and Leo. This is like, friends, this is like you loving, truly looking in the mirror and loving yourself, accepting yourself, appreciating who you are, the full authentic person that you are. And when you show up as the full authentic person that you are, again, you're going to naturally attract the other people. And we don't, so let me take it personal. I'm a single guy. I'm putting out into the world of manifesting a woman to work with, to co-create life with, a woman to divine partner to love with. I have no idea what she looks like. I have no idea certain elements of how she's going to communicate with me or things that she loves. I know what I love. I know things that are deal breakers or things that are I'm attracted to. But there's so much mystery. There's so much I have no idea. And it's not about logic. This isn't about, okay, you fit this box, check this box, check this box, check this box. This is about a feeling. This is a feeling. And leaning into that feeling. It's like I could talk myself out of it. I'm going to talk more about this here. I could talk myself out of everything. Our logical minds, our left brain right now, which is saying, let go of this, could talk ourselves out of all the bliss, the joy, the unity, the oneness, these cosmic orgasms of the mind and body. I'm not just talking about physical, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like these explosive, amazing experiences. And we can be like, no, you should probably just go to bed early tonight. True story. This past weekend, I went to a music festival. I've got two Pisces right now living with me, staying at my house. I love them dearly. And, as being like a double earth sign, thank God for my North Node and Moon in Cancer. But I have my own ways of going about things, and these two Pisces, who I just absolutely adore, they have a different way about going about things, and I have to learn and adapt in certain ways, and they're adapting to my like ways that I work in this home. And they said, Aaron, you've got to come to this music festival. We'll pay your way, as they said. And I literally said, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay at home and clean up and take care of chores and do this and this. Complete Virgo mindset. And they're like, man, this would mean the world to us. They're like, it'd mean the world if you came to us. I'm going to be honest with you. It was the most cathartic experience that I've had in a long, long, long time. We're going to dive into that now because this all plays in here. This community of individuals was a very loving, giving community. Freely giving. Some people showed up with these big kitchens. They paid the same ticket that I did. They didn't even watch the shows. They didn't watch any of the bands. They didn't interact with the gong baths and the yoga and the cacao ceremonies. They sat there in their little tent area and made food for people because they knew people would be hungry. Certain people would have little treasure boxes set up, and it would say, take and leave, take what you need. Here's a toothbrush, here's toothpaste, here's a little dinosaur, here's a little painting that I made. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these little things of giving, unconditional giving. Now, think about this. If it said, take what you need only if you voted for Kamala Harris. Take only what you need as long as you voted for the right party. Take only what you need as long as you were anti-vaxxed. Take only what you need as long as you were vaccinated. Take only what you need as long as we can agree our minds on this topic. That's not what it was. Take. I see you, human, with a mouth that needs to eat, with arms that need a hug, the heart that needs love. Share yourself, share what you've created. If you're an apple tree, share your apples unconditionally. If you're a beautiful flower, share your flowers. If you have to give back to the world, give back. This isn't a time for being stingy. This is really looking at our own shadow. There's a myth in the dating world, whether it's true or not. I've watched several psychologists talk about this, where they say people will give in their beginning relationships, and then they make their later relationships pay the debts for their earlier relationships. It's something I've personally seen. Now, this goes both ways, men and women. But it's like, how interestingly true is that? We're giving, and they say, oh, no. This relationship actually ruined my ability to give, and now I can't give anymore. But yet I'm still trying to attract and find the right thing, the right mate, the right person that's reciprocal. Now, look, we're talking about gardens here, Virgo energy. You can plant a garden. This is powerful stuff, friends. If you're following along with this, if you dig it, give it a like, write a comment. This is powerful. So you can plant a garden and say, this garden is here to provide for me. It's here to provide nutrients for me. And we can have expectations on that garden and what it's going to provide for you. You can plant all the right seeds. It takes work. This is the Virgo energy of the Sun and Mercury, saying it takes work. You have to water the garden. You have to give it so it can give back to you as well. You have to de-weed the garden. You have to protect your garden. Skunks are stealing my tomatoes right now. I got a fence for it, but they're getting in there. So it's like I have to take extra precautions to figure out how to protect something that I love and something that I appreciate. So when we have these things that we love and appreciate, this garden that's going to grow and nurture us, we have to give it the water, the attention that it needs. We have to take the weeds out of it so they don't overgrow and become problematic for us, or pests. We have to figure out how to keep other animals out because we want to protect what's ours. So it takes work. And at just the same time, you might love your garden and you might we can't overwater it either. Okay? This is where Mercury coming in with communication in the South Node is saying sometimes it's not about all of the words. Sometimes it's sitting with somebody. Sometimes it's just being present. Just looking at each other. Taking a walk. There's moments in between the words. It's like in between the rules, in between the order is where all the magic happens. This is all this Pisces stuff. Okay, and it's leaning into this. Again, our logical brain, our left brain, our logical mind can talk us out of all of the magic that is literally waiting for us. So following our intuition, following our emotions, aligning with what is it that I want and desire in life. Who do I want to co-create with to whatever capacity? Friends, coworkers, new business partners. What are you trying to attract? Love. Love, this is a potent energy for love. And Saturn coming retrograde back into Pisces as well. It's like, let's make it real. What are your biggest, wildest dreams? Manifest that. Neptune, the ruling planet of Pisces, in Aries, which is Mars, taking action. Take action toward creating this and know that you are co-creating with others. And you see Chiron starting to oppose Libra here. Mars in Libra. Again, this is a similar energy that we talked about last week of like these healthy distractions. Like people will pull us out of our funk. My Pisces friends pulled me out of a funk, pulled me out into this, magical festival. Phone died, no service for 4 days. Didn't matter. Everything worked out. It all worked out. Lean into the unknown, the possibilities, and how many beautiful, amazing souls and connections were met there. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's bring in our little friend here that we haven't talked about in a while. Boop. Okay. Now, you see we have a trine happening. A water trine between Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. The North Node here in Pisces with the Moon. The North Node and Moon in Pisces trine to Jupiter. And then Jupiter Cancer back up to the Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. If we follow Black Moon Lilith here, ... this is called a septile. A septile, a sextile. That purple is septile. A sextile is a harmonious aspect between two different signs. Okay, this is all feminine energy. This is water and earth. This is the creation of life. Okay, and you see this ... here. We have a sextile from Jupiter in Cancer over here to the Sun, Mercury, and the South Node. We call this in astrology a grand kite. Excuse me. A grand kite. Now, this is one of the ways I'm looking at this. Do you know what a Shiva stone is? I have one upstairs. I should have brought it down here for this astrology video. A Shiva stone is like an oval-looking stone that's tumbled in the river. I believe it comes from Asia. I could be wrong. Sorry. Shiva stone. They're a little oval stone, and they're like perfectly smooth and just tumbled by the river. Okay? Our own Virgo tendencies, our own rigidity, if you will, our rigidity to the outside world, our rigidity to I want someone to appreciate my apple fully. I want someone who's going to look at my apple tree and not just see a tree, but they could turn this into an orchard, and this orchard could create not only apples and apple juice and apple sauce, but maybe hard cider. You know what I mean? That's like, I want to be seen for the full possibility and potential I could be seen for. That might happen. It might not. But we can't withhold our services just because. We can't be rigid in our ways of giving and tumbling down the river. We can't hold so dearly onto the branch that we grew or that flower that we grew and say, I don't want to let this go because I worked so hard creating it. It's like, I have to. I have to round out myself. I have to let these things go. I have to prune. I have to purge aspects of myself in order for me to smooth out my round edges. And this eclipse is sticking the shadow of that directly in our faces. What are your hard edges that's making it impossible for someone to hold you? Too spiky. Everybody wants to be held. There's nobody in this planet that doesn't want to be held. There's nobody that doesn't want to be embraced. There's no one that doesn't want to be appreciated, to be loved. There's no one that doesn't want to be communicated with or talked to or have expansive conversations. And those communications, those expansive conversations, Jupiter, the expansion is coming from places of home. What makes us feel like home? What makes us feel in touch and in line with our emotions? So, coming back here to this grand trine, the isosceles triangle is the strongest structure in nature. You're never getting in my emotions. I'm going to make sure to put my guard up. And because I was hurt in the past when I connected with the other, and oh my goodness, and what is Scorpio, right? This is Taurus's energy, this is my personal belongings. This is my personal things. We could say Cancer's home, but this would be my house. Okay, this is my house. This is my money. This is my belongings, all my things. Scorpio energy, this is about our belongings, our shared interests, our shared emotions. And Black Moon Lilith, despite what some people want to give it this, glossed over, this is the barbarian. I don't care if you want to call it feminine or masculine. This is feminine just as Mars is masculine. It doesn't matter, though. We're not saying the feminine is barbaric or the masculine is barbaric just because it's taking action. Okay, this energy in and of itself is wild, unfiltered, barbaric energy. This is, I'm going to kill the baby of everyone in the city unless you give me what I want. Look up Black Moon Lilith. Look up old Black Moon Lilith, not like the modern yoga girl Black Moon Lilith. It's like, yay. Okay, I don't want to get into that, but that's a whole other ball of like confusing communication, and hopefully over the next couple of years we kind of de-rattle some of the woo-woo astrology and get into this real stuff. So it's like the base of our kite here being held up is the North Node, but the direction of this kite is going in this direction. Okay, which is Virgo. This is why this whole eclipse has so much contradiction to it. It's not necessarily easy to navigate. It's not something that your logical brain is going to sort out and make sense of. It's something to lean into the unknown about. And then through this unknown structure, Saturn, that's what Saturn does. It creates structure. Through this unknown, through leaning into the unknown, structure will create itself. But we cannot emotionally close ourselves off right now because we're afraid of what the outcome of the conversation is going to be, or because we're afraid of of pruning. We're afraid of losing our branch. So we're just going to try to hold on super, super, super tight. And we have Uranus, which is our planet of breakthroughs here in Gemini. Gemini, our minds, communication, conversation, our thought process. Breaking free of the stories we've been telling about ourselves, breaking free of these stories that identify and who we are, creating this septile here to home. Jupiter, expand yourself on not what you think the world needs you to be, but who are you? Don't try to create a career. Right, you see the septile here, septile to Jupiter, Jupiter septile to the South Node, and the Sun and Mercury are going to be connecting there. Excuse me, this is to Mercury right now, which is communication. Okay, so septile to Mercury, septile to Jupiter, home. It's about changing our minds in certain ways and telling us a story. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about we can have an instance that puts us in a bad mood. And if we don't take the necessary steps to create change in that bad mood can become a personality trait. It become a behavior. Right? And you say, why are you so frustrated? Why are you so angry all the time? Well, this happened to me. And because this thing happened to me, I now am wearing this armor. I'm now wearing this badge, this anger plate. And I want everyone to know this armor exists. And if they do something to me, the little porcupine quills are going to come out and you're going to get poked. We don't have to wear armor. There's no armor in the yoga studio. There's no armor in the bedroom. There's no armor in love. We don't need it. And if we think we do, this is an opportunity to rethink. This is an opportunity to change our thoughts. This is a huge opportunity to connect with other people, to align with your tribe during this eclipse. What services do you offer? How do you want to give back? We might not know what that looks like. There might be beautiful collaborations, spiritual collaborations. This thing go in the element of spiritual, in the connection, the bigger picture, the unknown. Let's create together. And maybe something is going to have to be lost along the way. We might have to lose a branch along the way. We might have to let this thing die. We might have to let this concept of ourselves die. We might have to, The Bachelor, all of a sudden now you're in a relationship, you're velvet painting of a naked lady that's sitting above your pool table. It might be time to change your decor. That doesn't mean you're losing part of yourself. You can still maintain anonymity. Why can't I say that right? You can maintain yourself and your own identity, but we're expanding and we're changing. And we're allowing ourselves permission. We're giving ourselves the permission to allow ourselves to feel into that, to lean into that, to lean into the unknown, and to have those difficult conversations, no matter what they are, with whomever they are. If it's a parent, a loved one, a coworker, a dear friend, a housemate, a bandmate, reaching out to, here's another thing, reaching out to people to collaborate. That you like, internet people, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that person really inspires the heck out of me, or I really like how this person doing this thing over there. This is such a huge time for those. It's like you do what you do, and it's like we get so scared of the judgment. We talked about this in the last video. We get so scared of the judgment about putting ourselves out there. It's like, who cares? None of us are making it out of here alive. Pisces is about death, endings, new beginnings. You're not getting out of here alive. Are you going to be more mad at yourself for the things you didn't do or the things you did do? Are you more mad at yourself for taking risks? Are you more going to be, what's more in alignment with yourself? Stepping into the unknown, stepping into the void, the possibility of life, or playing it safe? Saying be courageous, especially with Venus in Leo and Mars in Libra. Like, let's go. Let's go. Let the part of yourself go. Let that part of yourself die that's holding you back from living your best life. Let that part of yourself die that's no longer serves you from aligning yourself with the life of your dreams. Addictions. If you are addicted to something right now, this is an amazing time. Look at it in the face. Is this thing helping me? Does this put me in a better place? Does this thing serve me that I'm doing every day or weekly or whatever? I used to smoke a lot of weed. I really love the taste of weed sometimes. And it's just like, man, I gotta let it go. It's not serving me. There are times where smoking weed would bring me into a whole new, terrain, a place or a conversation with people I've never met before. And then there's times, brutal honesty. There's times where I would smoke and I would be antisocial. I wouldn't want to go out. I wouldn't want to be adventurous. I wouldn't want to do the thing that I really desired because my addiction desire of just getting high and chilling, this addictions come in all different ways. I'm just vulnerably sharing myself with you. So it's like, maybe this thing doesn't serve you anymore. And maybe it's time to think about it differently or look at it differently. Coffee. I wake up, sometimes I look at like my own routines, like Linus's blanket. Do you know what I'm talking about from the Peanuts? Like Linus has to have his blanket. And sometimes I'll wake up and I'll make a coffee in the morning. I prefer cacao or something, but I'll make it and I'm just like, Linus needs his blanket, baby needs his bottle. And it's just like, come on, man, I can function fine without having that coffee. It's just a routine that I've gotten myself into. And can I veer from my routine without being frustrated or angry or any of the other emotions? Like, this Pisces energy is volatile, I suppose, water energy and emotions, but it's the unknown. It's the possibilities of something. The possibilities could be greater of letting go of that thing than it is to hold on to it. This is good stuff, friends. This is like such amazing energy. I hope there was something in here that aligned with you to try to put this, I don't know, in a button here at the end. This is like, do not close off our emotions and think that your way is the right way and the only way. Being open to other people and other possibilities, having extremely vulnerable conversations, making sure that we're putting in the work in order to receive the rewards. The universe wants us to do the work, right? You exercise, you will naturally feel better. This isn't just a possibility. Your mind can say, oh, I tried it for a couple of days, it didn't work. You know what I mean? And then you're making your mind up about something, but results continuously show. There's enough data, there's enough information in the world that shows if you exercise, you're going to feel good. If you eat healthy, you're going to feel good. If you have those conversations, you're going to open up to possibilities that you were unaware of. But if you lock your emotions out, if you lock up those conversations in your mind and they stay stuck in your analytical left brain, it's like we're missing out on the true creation of life in this process right now. So it's just, don't be afraid to be vulnerable in whatever capacity that it is. And I really, truly hope that I do connect with somebody out there to have conversations with on this channel, that we can have these vulnerable, open conversations with, and we can expand. I can help your channel, you can help mine, but most importantly, we can share information with the other people that are seeking it. Allow our rigidity of our rocks to be wooed by the water spirit. Allow it to be tumbled down the river into the unknown, and those beautiful points that we had, those sharp little points, are going to be rounded out. And then we can be, just be rounded out. We'll just leave it there, less rigidity. The other sextile happening here between Uranus, ... up to Saturn and Pluto in Aquarius. This is all about transformations. Mars active transformations, right? Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. This is active transformations with community. So both of our planets of action are dealing with the other right now, other people and the community at large. The community at large, breakthroughs of information, breakthroughs of how we view the world, breakthroughs of how we perceive our own personal thought process. We have the community at large with technology, information, communication, superhighway knowledgeable Aquarius, creating this beautiful trine to break through the information. And then we're giving it back, sextile right there, Saturn, create, make it real in Pisces. And Capricorn, Saturn is Capricorn, right? So Capricorn's like, let's make this reality. This is the possibility, this is reality. And Saturn says, yes, I'm not done here yet. Before we move to Aries, I'm not done here yet. So there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot in the creation process right now. There's a lot in the cultivating process that the universe is really handing to us. And it's just like, here, this is what you're asking for. It might look different than what you expected. It might have been presented different than you expected. Are you open to receive? Are you open to the new possibilities? Are we going to shut ourselves out, lock ourselves in? Because this water energy can be evasive. It can shut down and go hiding. And that's the beauty of the kite saying, nope, we got to go into illumination mode. We're here, we're headed. It's like the kite's going one direction, the north node's going the other. You know, that's the beauty of it. That's just simply the beauty of it. Friends, this is a lot. This is a lot. I might share more as the week progresses up into Sunday. Powerful, powerful eclipse. Truly, I love you. I wish you enough. All of the beauty in this world. We'll see you next time.